the number one driver of high performance, according to the research, is preparation. High performers put in work in the unseen hours. They prepare for the moments that matter most so that they can show up and win in those moments. Think about what those moments are for you. Maybe it is, crucial conversations that you're going to have with your team. Maybe it's those key leadership moments. Maybe it's an important presentation coming up, or maybe it's executing on a really big project or program. I understand that when we talk about preparation isn't a very sexy thing to talk about. Nobody gets overly excited about preparation. So for just a second, let's look at it a little bit different way. What does the lack of preparation cost you? Because there is a cost to not preparing for those moments that matter the most. That cost may be in increased business. Maybe you're missing opportunities for new sales. Maybe it's missing opportunities for deepening relationships and therefore expanding business with current clients that you already have. Maybe the cost is relevance. Maybe the cost is influence. Maybe the cost is connection with your people, but there is a cost. A recent study showed that 82% of B2B buyers are frustrated with seller preparation. Now, if you're on the buyer side, you're probably nodding your head and going, yeah, I deal with this all the time. If you're on the seller side, that should be a little bit of a wake-up call to go, oh, okay. Maybe I'm not showing up and putting in the kind of preparation that I need. I'll give you maybe the most iconic example of this. In 2013, there was a group of Nike executives who had what they felt like was a routine meeting. A presentation to a client that was already on the books, had been a client for 4 years, and they were just trying to renew the contract for the next 4 years. That client was Steph Curry, the basketball player. Because they didn't prepare and treat this as important, they showed up to the meeting, and in the meeting, it started going south pretty quickly. One of the executives kept referring to Steph by the wrong name. His name's Stefan, and they called him Stefan. Over and over and over again. Now that would be really bad in any meeting, but imagine it with a client who is a huge name already in the world, and they are already a client of yours that you've had an ongoing relationship with. They didn't treat this business meeting important enough to customize and prepare. They actually reused the same slide deck they had used for Kevin Durant. And do you know why we know that? Because his name was still on every one of the slides. Steph Curry stood up from that meeting and said, I'm done. And he left Nike and he went to Under Armour. That was 12 years ago. Most estimates say that change, that decision, has cost Nike $14 billion in the last 12 years, and that will continue to roll forward. Do you want to know the craziest fact about that story that nobody really knows? The head executive that was running that meeting, who was in that meeting, was the vice president of basketball operations for Nike. It was Nico Harrison, who is the same guy that just traded Luka Doncic to the Lakers. How does he have a job? I don't understand. There is a cost to the lack of preparation. That's pretty obvious to see, right? So if you're in a leadership role, I want you to think about this. If you're going into an important conversation, maybe you're going to have a tough conversation with one of your team, how do you prepare for that? Or do you just go in and wing it? Because I've found for me that if I will spend the time in preparation, if I will sit down, if I will script out some of the things that I want to say, I'll practice it out loud. What happens is the writing it out helps me find the key phrases and the words. The saying it out loud helps me to find the right tone and the right energy so that I can show up, and the preparation puts me in the right place. That preparation doesn't just cause you to be rehearsed. More importantly, it allows you to be present in those moments that matter most. So the mentality that we've adopted, and that I hope that you'll adopt when it comes to preparation, is actually the motto of the Navy SEALs. The Navy SEALs, probably the highest performing team in the world, and their motto is this: we don't rise to the occasion, we fall to the level of our preparation. Thinking that you're going to show up and wing it and win is not only naive, there's a huge cost that comes along with that. So when I look at Drew, and Drew's only been involved in the sport of Ninja Warrior for 6 years, and his rise on the sport has been kind of amazing. He has become one of the top ninjas very, very quickly. One of the reasons, if not maybe the biggest reason, is because of something we've done in his preparation that we call coursework. So the first time he started training at our house, we found a ninja gym, he started doing that, and they said, "Do you want to do a competition?" We said, "Sure." We had no idea what we were getting into, right? And so we went to the competition, and what we found was they lay out a course, and the way it works in a ninja competition is the first thing that matters is obstacle completion. How many points do you get, right? By completing an obstacle, you get a point. And then second thing that matters is speed. How quickly or efficiently do you move through those obstacles? And so Drew competed, and as we left, I said, okay, if this is what you're going to be judged on, if running a course is what matters in the biggest moments, then let's start running courses in your training. And so we started building courses every single day. Literally every day. As part of his training, he is training courses, not just going in and practicing a skill, but putting it together. Because what happens for your mind and your skill set is when you're running a course, you're thinking about not just, can I complete an obstacle, but how do I complete that obstacle? What does the transition to the next obstacle look like? How do I put this all together? And you start to develop that muscle memory so that it shows up when you need it most. We call that coursework. And so my question to you, as you think about what you do, is what is your coursework? What is the preparation that you should be doing that maybe you're not doing that is costing you something? But as you put that coursework in place, it's going to allow you to be prepared because you don't rise to the occasion. All of us, we fall to the level of our preparation. So I'm going to show you what coursework kind of looks like from a Ninja Warrior standpoint. So please help give me a hand. Let's invite Drew back up to the stage. All right, Drew. So here's the thing. I've put together a course that we're going to have Drew run here in a minute. And it's 6 points. I'm going to walk you through the course so that you can see it. You guys are going to understand too. You're going to start right here. I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, go. You're going to go off the trapeze. You're going to swing off the trapeze. You cannot use this first blue bar or the second. You're going to hit the tramp only once. Bounce through here to the third blue bar. And you get your first point when you get to the white bar. Okay, so this line will be your first point. You're going to drop down here. How many of you, can you bring that down? How many of you guys seen the show? You've seen a salmon ladder? This is kind of an iconic obstacle right here. You're going to take the salmon ladder 2 rungs up to the top. That's your second point. Third point, you're going to start here. You can use either of these grips off the T-ledge to the bowl, land onto this box. That's going to be your third point. From the box, you're going to go on the slack line. You're going to swing around this pole, back to the slack line, around this pole to the blue pad. That's your fourth point. Sorry, I'm doing math here. Then you're going to do a sky hook. He's going to take this ring, fly with it to that hook over there. That's going to be your 5th point. Then without dropping, you're going to go to this ring, fly to the last one. Your 6th point is right there. Now, this is training, right? So he might miss an obstacle. Don't miss an obstacle. But points matter, but so does speed or efficiency. So what we're going to do is we're going to put up a timer on here. Drew, I'm going to say that you're buying dinner if you don't finish in less than 30 seconds, okay? All right, okay. We're going to give Drew a hand here. All right, Drew, you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Let's go. Bounces through. First point clear. Second point clear. Third point clear. Fourth point clear. Fifth point clear. Let's go. 6 points.